Okay, so I want to go over the setup I shared just before, just a few hours after the market opened. So I did my analysis on the H1. So that means I will be taking my entry on the M5, since we deal with two time frame, a higher one and a lower one. Okay, so we identified uh an engulfing candle here on the H1. Okay, so and then the next thing, I'll have my vertical line here. Okay, just on the next candle opening. Okay, yeah, that one. Okay, so this is an engulfing candle. This is a bearish candlestick. The bullish candle, the first bullish candle did not engulf the bearish one at first. Okay, but then we have the next bullish candle totally engulfing both the green and the red. So that makes it suitable, a suitable zone. Okay, so we identify our zone, and the next thing I want to do is drop down to the lower time frame on M5, where I want to confirm my entry. So within from the vertical line here, all of the zone at this point here, we want to look for a zone within a zone. Okay, so we have one at this point here, a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern here. So I'm going to change the color on the M5. Okay, so this is one. I will be extending it to the future. Okay, so this is one. Of course, we have another one right here. Um, Another bullish engulfing candlestick pattern here. Okay, so I will be extending that also to the future, and I guess I should change the color. Okay, so now after identifying your zone on the left hand side within that zone, okay, so the next thing you want to do is wait for price to come into one of your zone. Okay, so there is possibility that one of your zone will is possible, one of your price can just run into your stop loss, but then you have another zone that should hold. Okay, and one of these will hold, but the good thing is these zones are small, so you're going to be risking so little, and then when it moves, you just kill it. So at this point here, you can see price came into the first zone and then maintained inside that zone. As you can see, we have sorry, let me take this out. Okay, so as you can see, we have price running into this zone, and then our entry here, our entry at this point here, stop loss here, and then you can see price run into the TP1. At this point here, you can see it came into the zone, ran to TP1, went to TP2 here, give us the TP3. We'll probably get TP4 and TP5 altogether. Okay, so you that is 1:5 risk to reward. We have also, you can also target the highs at this point here, at this point, which is a good one. As you can see, price came back into this zone here, the same zone, and it's possible we have price just move out of that zone. Okay, but you would have risked so little and then gotten out with so much. So that is one of the trade we looked at. I shared early this morning on GU. So we also looked at another one on NZD USD NU. All right. So on H1, I spotted this again earlier, where we saw on NU. Okay. So yeah, I mentioned that. Okay, we saw on NU price made an engulfing candle at this point here. Okay, so sorry, so let's go back to H1. So the next thing I want to do normally is to identify just after the candlestick pattern engulfed candlestick pattern. So I will be placing my vertical line on the next candle that just started. Okay, so here I want to drop down to the lower time frame M5 where I want to identify my zones. So the first zone I see here is this one. Okay, so on the lower time frame, you're looking for an engulfing candlestick pattern within the zone. All right, and you want to find that zone in the left hand side within the higher time frame zone. Okay, I'm going to be changing the color here and then extending this to the future so we can see where price tapped. Okay, so that is one. We had another. This is another zone here actually. Um, this is another zone here, but I'm not going to be making use of this for now. Yeah. So of course we have another zone just at the bottom here. Okay, at the bottom here. Yeah. So this is another zone here, but let's see what happened. Price came into the zone. Okay, so I can place my risk to reward tool here. Okay, and then you see every time price came into this zone the first time at this point. um yeah, so price came into the zone at this point here. You can see blast out of that zone. You can have have your TP set at this high. Okay, or you can decide to just always go for 1 to 3. Okay, which I can almost guarantee you that you will get that almost always. Okay, for the second time price came into the same zone and went out of that zone, gave us 1 to 3 also, probably 1 to 4, and then coming back for the third time before hitting our stop loss. Okay, so if you had gotten in here for 1 to 3 and then entered again and again. Okay, but you can always, after getting your TP2, you can always, move your SL, your stop loss, to break even. So at the end of the day, price hit our stop loss and then made that zone to be invalid. Okay, but before then, if you wanted to, you would have made something and then exited that particular trade. So I think we looked at GBPNZ. That was another trade I spotted. Yeah, of course. So we saw this. I saw this happening. Just after immediately the at the third hour after the market open at my end. Okay, and then I have my zone here. As you can see, this is a bearish candle in white. I have mine in white. The bear candles are in white, and then the bullish candles are in green. So you can see the bullish candle engulfing the bearish candle here, so that made this a zone. Okay, we have a zone here. So the next thing I want to do is place my vertical line, okay, on the next candle that is just starting. So at this point I want to drop down to M5, okay, where I want to now look for my zone. All right, so dropping down to the M5 here. So we are looking for our zone within the zone. Okay, so at this point I have I'm going to be using this zone actually. I'll be using this zone. Why? Um, I will explain that in a second. So let me make this white and then I will extend this into the future. Okay, so you can see here there is a zone here. Price went up, came back inside that zone, but the zone is still valid. The zone has not been invalidated yet. So that is why I will be playing with this zone. Okay, of course you can actually play with this zone here. There's one here. You can play with this. um I'm just going to change the color here. So you can play with that zone if you want to. Yeah, so which is also nice. So of course price came into that zone, but for me I would like to play with the one below. Okay, so I just want to use that zone because it hasn't been invalidated yet. So since it is still valid, um, I will play with that one. So I will be taking this out anyway. So you can see here we had. I'm going to use my risk to reward Fibonacci tool here. Okay, so definitely you would have gotten in at least around within that white zone. Your stop loss is going to be here. Your entry just that point, that right there. So price had already moved TP1, giving you the TP2 and then giving you TP3. You would have had 4, 5, and of course probably had 6 at this top area here. Okay, so and you can look for an area to place a target. You can target this high or this high or this high. Okay, or you just want to move 1 to 3 risk to reward. That is fine also. Okay, so those are the three setup we spotted this morning. And then they performed really nice. Of course, they were triggered, and you would have gotten out with at least 1 to 3 safely, risking little, and you're getting three. You are getting 3 times your risk, which is interesting. Okay, so I would have filmed, I would have recorded this live when I took it, but it was late, and I wanted to sleep. That's why. So I hope my explanation here is very clear. Uh, I believe I will have other videos where I'm going to explain, the right engulfing candles to, take, how to actually, get that accurate zone, and then, when to know when to actually, get out of a trade. Um, but for now, if you have any question, please, I would like you to, message me anytime, and I'll be happy to help. Okay.